My name is Baldez, and I work in developing new solutions for final part manufacturing based on multi-jet fusion technology. We really want to take this technology to production. So I'm in charge of creating those solutions, also managing the strategic partnerships that we have for our business.
Well, one thing that comes to mind is this show kind of took a somewhat different approach than other 3D printing shows. How do you think? What do you think of this solution-based approach, and how do you think that's going to play into what your strategy is at HP?
So what we learned by talking to customers is that once you do prototyping, everybody's doing prototype pretty much the same way. Once you go to manufacturing, things really change. It's very different. A production line of shoes, of clothes, of turbine blades, and of cars.
Sure.
So each one of them has its own requirements, its speed requirements, cost, quality. So there's a need to have deep vertical knowledge into each one of these areas to really build a compelling solution. So that's why one of the things I really like about this show is the attempt to do that. So if you go to any other trade show like this, they're pretty much horizontal. They kind of sell the machines and you ask, what for? There's not a clear answer. So here it's pretty much, they have sectors, so you can bring the people from that specific industry and show the machines that they have to have, the parts that they want to see, and all the solution that they need to create. So I think that's quite innovative, and I think it's really good. And it links well with our strategy of going into different verticals. The second thing is that by being in Barcelona, there's a flavor of local culture and local people here that are coming that maybe not going to other events farther away. So I think it gives them the opportunity to see state-of-the-art technology. And linked to with that, I think Barcelona has a lot to say on the area of design. So it's been traditionally known for doing architectural designs and designs of different objects, consumer goods, and business models. And I think they also have a place here in 3D printing. So hopefully by this we can bring it all together.
Can you talk a little bit about how you envision, HP 3D printing business? Because I'm not, I follow the industry, and if I'm correct, HP is not in the manufacturing industry right now, right? You make computers, you make 2D printing, so this is a whole new market for you. Is that, safe to say? Or?
Well, we have used our 2D printing technology to the home, to the office, but also to really industrial environments. So when they talk about newspaper printing, book printing, labels and packaging, we call that manufacturing. Absolutely. Because we're talking hundreds of pages printed every minute, really large scale, all digital, meaning that each one of them can be customized. So we have that experience of going into massive scales, into machines that cannot stop. They have to work 24/7 in really intense, high reliability environments. Absolutely. At the same time, we're humble enough to know that in 3D printing is a completely new business, and that's why we're reaching out to customers, and we actually announced some of the collaboration partners that we have, that we really want to go hand in hand to really understand each vertical and provide a solution that really works well for each manufacturing environment.
Absolutely. And by the way, what I meant is HP is not really in manufacturing, but manufacturing industry is potentially the biggest business that HP could get into. So it's like the biggest potential opportunity for the company. And you said you announced the partners. Did you announce them here? You mean
in Rapid,
the development partners?
Yeah. So we have a handful of customers / partners that have been collaborating with us on the product development. Of course. So they come to our offices on a regular basis. They give us inputs. They also some of them have early access to the machine so that they can play with it. And by that, we're fine-tuning it's really a co-design exercise that we're doing with them. And so there are people like Nike from consumer goods, fast moving, to really industrial horsepowers like Siemens, BMW in automotive, Johnson & Johnson in healthcare, and a few other service bureaus. So by doing that, we really want to learn from their expertise and make sure that whatever we deliver makes sense for them and their customers.
Okay, so one last thing is, how do you envision, I'm referring to your presentation, if you could just summarize a little bit of how you envision 3D HP in real terms, how do you envision HP's 3D printing business?
So my talk today was really about retail and how consumer goods are going to be changed by using 3D printing. So retail has several pain points today in terms of inventory, about some products are not successful, so they need to do promotions, and they don't really know how much demand it's going to be. So going digital in those cases is really a big breakthrough in efficiency and reducing costs and running operations more efficiently. That's all great, and I think the new technology that we are launching is really about speed, quality, and cost. It brings an order of magnitude improvement versus all the other technologies. So the people have been thinking about doing that for a while. Now they can really start to do it for real. So as the first devices come out at this end of the year, it's funny because a lot of the customers were thinking that they're going to use about prototyping, but not a single one is thinking about that. They really say, how do I do that for production? Because now I can get the same quality. Now I can get a much more competitive cost.
Yeah.
When you take that to consumer goods and to retail, that's really very linked to their pain points. To have something that is much more efficient supply chain. The other part of the talk is actually about the new opportunities that open up because you're not doing things the old way. So by doing fully mass customization of goods, we talked about figurines, about shoes, and to doing things that are like seasonal, so you can do that more often and is economically viable. And some of the example that some of the designers came up is really unique. It's very complex geometry, very fine-tuned to what the people want. But to do that, they need a powerful technology behind that has, the right quality, the right cost, and the right speed. So that's how we think we're going to transform retail and consumer goods industry in general by bringing a big step improvement in all these three vectors.